This is the 3 p.m. Takeover, Radio Northern Beach's only drive-home show.
Keep it right here for a whole hour of fresh hits and entertainment for your Wednesday afternoon.
Here we go.
This is Addicted to You by Avicii. Welcome to the 3 p.m. Takeover. You're listening to Radio Northern Beaches 88.7 and 90.3, although you may not be listening to us on the actual radio. We've had some transmitter issues this week.
That's like hashtag radio world problems.
Transmitter
issues.
What was it? Someone has built something or a tree has shifted and now it's blocking the signal?
Yeah, hashtag radio world problems.
Something like that. But anyway, so we hope that you are listening to us.
Yeah, you can still stream online on the website.
Or use TuneIn.
Yes.
That's true. Listen to us, search.
There's so many ways to listen to us.
I know.
You guys are so lucky.
Since when did you need radio to listen to a radio show, right?
Yeah. So 20th century.
Okay. I had a bit of time off on the weekend and I was reading a health newspaper magazine thing that I love to read. And I found out a really interesting thing. Somebody did a study about the correlation between attractiveness and music.
As in like a guy is like, but he's holding guitar and singing and you're like, woo!
Yeah, pretty much.
I 100% agree, unfortunately.
So it seems that 59% of Australian adults find someone more attractive if they're playing music that person likes or if you see them in the vicinity, like, and a song that you like is playing in the background.
Oh, it's even just like the song in the background.
Yeah, so say like if you really like Coldplay and there's some Coldplay music playing and some guy, you're going to, like 60% of people think that they're more attractive.
So does that mean like if you're single and you really want to meet a partner, does that mean the best place to meet them is just to go to a concert of your favourite band?
Yeah, wouldn't that be true? Because then you're like, wow, we love the same music.
And you look so sexy in this light song.
I was about to say we click on an extraterrestrial level, but that wasn't the word I was looking for. Extra like something level.
Are you feeling aliens?
But I thought that was really interesting. And I don't know if that's true for me. I feel like I don't associate music with people, do you?
Oh, like a song will remind you of someone?
Yeah, or that you would find someone more attractive if they played music that you liked.
Look, I can definitely say that I had a crush on someone in high school and the fact that they could play guitar was like highly attractive.
Oh, really? But would you find someone attractive if like they played French horn? It's the first instrument that came to my head.
It's the sexiest instrument. Probably. Oh, that was the first instrument in your head?
Yeah.
I play the triangle. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
If you play the percussion, maybe not.
It depends. People love drummers.
Yeah.
I guess it depends what kind of percussion instrument. You're like, I play the glockenspiel.
Yes, maybe not a glockenspiel player. That would be a bit interesting.
Although I've only met female glockenspiel players, so I think. Now thinking back, I can't even remember because I used to sit at the front of band. I used to never see the percussion people there at the back.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that music makes people more attractive, but I feel like if I'm thinking about somebody that I find attractive and I'm listening to like a certain kind of music, I'll be like getting into it.
Oh, really? Because I'm thinking the opposite. I think if they have like the musical skill, I find that attractive. But I don't think if I'm hearing my favorite song in the background, I'm looking at someone, I'm not like, they're even more attractive now. I don't think that would not work for me, but I think that
doesn't work on me, kid.
Yeah.
Actually,
nice try.
That must link to that idea. You know, like traditionally, if you go over to someone's house for a fancy dinner, they'll put on some like mood music.
Oh, I hate the term mood music.
So do I. But wouldn't that come from that then? Because like the music sets the mood for you, like liking the person more. That must be the correlation, right?
The only mood music I'll accept is like Christmas carols.
Setting a Christmassy
mood.
The
festive mood.
Oh, that's true.
But
that must be where it comes from. Because like if you went over to someone's house for dinner, mood music is totally a thing, right? You wouldn't play like house music. The person would be like, hey buddy, like let's have dinner.
Just gonna put some Skrillex on.
Yeah, you know what I mean though? Like that wouldn't be attractive, right? That wouldn't be attractive, but mood music is attractive.
I've never thought of that. Trying to eat pasta and like waiting for the beat to drop while they're trying to eat. That's such a strange study. That's incredible. What was the percentage again? Like 50 something?
59.
Wow. So basically,
so not like 60. Not like so like 60. So not like an amazing amount, but like over more than half say they directly feel like instantly more attracted to someone if they are playing or in the vicinity of music that they like.
Look, I don't want to throw shade on any musicians, but I can think of a couple that are very famous that I think if they weren't singers and songwriters and you just like walked past them on the street, you would not think they're attractive.
That's true.
Like hands down a lot, and I'm not going to name names because I love them as artists and I don't want to throw shade. This is a shade-free program.
We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that tune. Feels so close to you right now. When?
Talk about mood music.
When?
Now.
Yeah,
right now.
You were talking about mood music and then you instantly like hit play on Mike's on if you turn to me and you're like, talk about mood music.
I know. I love that song.
So we are going to talk a little bit now about some of the strangest beauty trends because I came across this article and over the course of the last couple of months, just for 2016, things will just pop up and like I'll read articles about them and they're just the strangest thing.
I would like to think I've never been into any strange trends.
I don't think you've been into any of the recent ones are really odd.
Oh, and actually one, not a weird one, but that one where you had your ring fingernails were painted a different colour.
Oh yeah, you were well into
what was that called?
I don't know.
Feature
weird.
nail.
Oh, that's
I was really into feature nails.
Feature nails. I've never done that.
I don't know if that's
I'm really
weird,
bad
though.
at painting my nails. I never do it.
I don't know if that's a weird thing though, or if it's just a thing.
It was a trend.
Yeah.
It wasn't a weird trend.
Oh, good.
But then it's in highly wacky ones. There's also been ones that I've loved, but there are a lot that I'm like, why?
Hit me up. What's wacky?
Okay, so there's 4 I want to talk about that were just really 4 or 5. The first one is glitter roots, and basically you put glitter to cover regrowth.
Oh, I guess it's a clever way of covering it.
I guess, but like. As the person in the article said, unless you happen to be a Sailor Moon impersonator.
Or you're a 6-year-old at a dance concert.
It's like it's impractical for everyday life. Actually, all of these were impractical for everyday life, really.
And you can't get away with glittery hair if you like have a job.
It depends what your job is.
I guess.
Depends how like flexible your workplace is, I guess.
True.
But I don't know. I don't know if I love it. I just don't
Glitter really itches my scalp, so I would say no.
I just don't like regrowth. I don't like the look of it in general. So
No.
like trying to cover it up, I'm like, just spend the money and get your hair redyed. Like really.
That too.
Yeah. I don't know. The second one is even weirder and possibly the weirdest thing I've ever come across in my life. It's called furry nails.
Ew.
And it's like little bits of fake fur, but it's not just the size of your nail. It's like it goes longer.
Oh, that's
Little
really
tufts
horrible.
of fur.
Little tufts of fur in your
That's what
neck.
it looks like. And it's ridiculous because 1, it looks ridiculous. And 2, it's so impractical. Like what happens when you get it wet? You have to like use a hairdryer or something to like fluff them back up. Like
I suppose if you put it in one of those electronic dryers, they would redry, wouldn't they?
what if they like the sticky stuff comes off and like and fly off?
Ew.
Like one hair. You have a feature hair-free nail.
Is the idea that it's supposed to make you look like animalistic?
I don't 100% know. A lot of these are on like runways for haute couture fashion.
Oh, okay.
And they come off the runway and they might be using like photo shoots for stuff because like it might match if they're wearing like a fake fur outfit.
So not like average people fashion.
No, like this is the kind of like half of these are very like I think like glitter based stuff is very kind of like quirky and creative, and like I think if you're like maybe like a uni student you could probably get away with it.
Artsy.
Yeah, it's very artsy. But I think things like the fur nails and a couple other ones came like off the runway and they're just kind of like sitting at this weird halfway where it's kind of quirky, but like it's not really doable in
like
everyday
hyper
life.
fashion. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot. Yeah, sometimes you see stuff on like the runway and you're like, no one would wear that. Like, they have nowhere to wear it to. The next one is called icicle hair, and this one is actually quite cute. So it's basically just a stick-in or clip-in extension that's like a metallic glitter color, and you just have like 1 or 2, and it kind of sits like in this, like if you've got like a middle layer of hair, you sit it in
sits
there.
there.
Yeah.
You know what?
It actually looks quite nice.
I could just make my own icicle hair. When I lived in Canada, I actually had icicle hair. You don't even need it to be like put in there. It'd be natural.
Just have some
Just
wet
move
hair
to a
and sit
cold
outside.
country and you'll be icicle hair straight away.
This one feels a little less potentially damaging on the
Wouldn't
immune system.
that give the impression that you were like awkwardly going grey, but like not
No, you
in
don't.
weird lumps?
You don't. I think the icicle part's referring to like the sparkles.
Oh.
Because when I looked it up, a bunch of them were like pink and.
It's like when men's hair starts to go grey and it looks like someone just dropped a bit of salt in the middle of their head and it went pooh.
That's why it's called salt and pepper.
Powdered hair.
Powdered hair. Another one is glitter lips, and it's basically like wearing glitter as
looks
lip gloss.
amazing.
It looks amazing, but like you'd take a sip of a drink and be like, oh.
Oh, you could only do it for like photos and show. You couldn't eat or drink or like anything.
You do it for like a party where you know that like you'd like drink through a straw the whole night.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
seen that people put like hundreds and thousands on their lips as well.
Yeah, I feel like I would just eat them off straight away. Delicious. But a few, so those are like the wackiest, but there were a few that I actually really enjoyed, I thought were quite cute. So things like when flower beards and glitter beards and guys were like putting like flowers in
I
like
remember
their like
that. That was
lumberjack
kinda
beards.
cool.
I love that. And then the mermaid hair look where like kind of like where the icicle hair extensions clip in that second layer. People were like dyeing like bluey aquas,
green.
and then their top layer would sit on top and they could move their hair and would like shimmer
Yeah,
underneath.
I remember that.
love that look. And then the other one, which I thought was kind of cute but still really impractical, was glitter freckles. So you put like
Oh.
sparkles on instead of freckles. It's cute, but like again, unless you're like 6 years old, it's a bit weird.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
gotta, time comes and you grow out of these things.
So if you guys have like a favorite wacky trend or a wacky trend that you've tried, let us know. Give us like your full review. Let us know on Facebook, facebook.com/3pm takeover, because we'd love to hear or see about them. Because I've never tried any of them. So
No, neither.
I'm completely
Too conservative.
have no experience with them. I'm just judging them at face value.
Welcome back to the 3pm takeover. You're listening to Hope and Victoria. It is Wednesday afternoon. And we have been talking about the wackiest, weirdest beauty trends, like fur on your nails, which is kind of gross. And music apparently making people more attractive. So what do you know?
Speaking of music, I was just saying during the song to Hope that for some reason that song reminds me of the Fast and Furious series. Can a listener please let me know if that song is in the Fast and Furious series? Because it's annoying me because I think it's a new song.
It is.
And
That song only came out like last year.
I saw the most recent Fast and Furious, which was Furious 7.
How many of them are there? I've only ever seen like
7.
2.
There's
Oh,
7.
God. I think I've seen the 6th one.
They're
and,
not in like
the first
order.
one.
They're really strange. Like there's one where they go to Tokyo and then like the next film is like set before Tokyo. It's very confusing, okay?
Is it all just about like racing around in cars, being fast and furious? Oh.
Yeah, but they're being fast and furious. Yes, they're all... Yep, you can't just drive. You have to drive angry.
I've seen them, but it was like years ago and I've only seen 2 of them. But anyway.
Speaking of the word furious, I want to have a little rant. Because
You are furious.
over the weekend, I woke up at about 2:30 in the morning on Saturday night feeling really ill. And I know everyone out there's going to be like, yeah, that happens. And it does happen. But you know what didn't help? Trying to get back to sleep and spending an hour lying there listening to the people who live above me sing like karaoke to like Shania Twain at 3 a.m. with like the bass coming through like their floors to us. It wasn't, they weren't that loud, but because it was so quiet, because it was like the middle of the night, I could hear them. And
Everything's loud in an apartment block though.
yeah, and it was so and every time I got up and I was like, I'm gonna go up and say something. Every time I got up, like the song ended and it was quiet. I was like, oh, and I'd lie back down in bed and then like the song would start and I'd be like, oh, I just got comfortable and I feel sick and
It's annoying because if I hadn't been sick and I'd heard Shania Twain karaoke, I probably would have gone up and joined.
at 3 a.m.
But not if I was sick.
Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, normally I'd be like, oh, whatever, I'll tune it out. And like I closed my window. Like we had like one window open at like the other end of the house for air.
Yeah.
Like it was ridiculous. It was, anyway. And they are notoriously, like they always have like parties upstairs and they always turn off just before the curfew. So like no one can go up there and complain because technically they've turned it off before like 12.
Yeah.
And they always play thumping music. But you know what? I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep ranting. You know what the worst part is? Shania Twain wasn't too bad, but normally, they don't even play good music. And that's like the last straw. Like if they were going to at least
at least make it entertaining.
If they were going to at least play good music, I'd be like, okay, I'm kind of annoyed, but like, woohoo. But normally I'm like, this song sucks. Why are you pounding this song?
That too. I remember I used to get so mad. I used to live next door to people that had really, really, really loud parties. And I would like,
Why am I invited?
No, I would wait poised with the phone, and the second it turned to 12:01, I would be on the phone to our local police station. Really? They'd be like, we're coming over. They're very good. They're very responsive. But what's good, though, is I like it when people who are having parties, they'll drop off like a courtesy note in people's mailbox. That's always nice.
Yeah, look.
Being like, we're having a party, just so you know.
Like when they do have parties, it is like always Friday, Saturday night. So yes, technically no one has anywhere to be in the morning. But they just like, they'll start at like 7. Like you came over to my place Saturday evening and they like were already playing it loudly.
At dinner time.
Yeah. And like, and they have done a couple of, they had one on a Thursday because it was one of their birthdays and they had all their friends over and they watched like some football game and they were so loud that like everyone in our building like took turns going up and like knocking the door and be like,
how annoying.
Can you be quiet? And the music would turn down for 10 minutes and like 10 minutes later they'd turn it back up.
So you never noticed.
And it was like, oh yeah, real subtle guys.
That reminded me, there's this TV show, I can't remember what it's called. It's a British show. I think it's called like Neighbours at War or something. And it's an entire show based around neighbours that like get so angry at each other that they sabotage each other. And it's actually the stupidest thing.
Wow.
Like I've seen some that have got so intense that a neighbour has actually quit their job and like opted for a part-time job to spend half their time at home sabotaging the other neighbor while they're out and stuff. It's like the most intense show ever. And they'll balance things on top of their door so it will like drop on them when they walk into their house and they'll film it like from a window.
That's so like camp prank.
Yeah, it's so a thing. Like these really angry neighbors.
They're like the start of Parent Trap.
Yeah, pretty much. And on that note, it was really interesting. I did some research and I found out the 5 most annoying neighbour traits as voted by Australians.
Let's see if all of them are for my upstairs neighbours.
I'm really lucky. In my apartment block, there are concrete walls,
Plus, you're at the top.
so I can't hear. Yeah, and I'm
no
at the
one above
top,
you.
so no one can drop things on me.
Yeah. So what are these traits?
Okay, so the number one is families that shout/argue.
Oh, that's awkward.
That is awkward. We have new neighbours that moved in next door at the place I just moved out of that always fight, and it's really awkward. It's really awkward.
It's awkward.
And it'll be like a Sunday afternoon and you're like, it's a suburban neighbourhood.
Oh, no.
No fighting, guys. So bad.
Just bottle up your emotions like everyone else, please.
This is a nice area. People don't argue here. The second one is families that dance/exercise loudly, which I think would like include music.
And just like walking loudly down the hall.
I had a friend that
So funny.
did live next door to someone that ran like mini boot camps at their house.
Oh
but
my
they would
goodness.
start at, like 5:30 or 6, and they'd always do this like 1, 2, 7, 8, step and turn and stretch.
Like aerobics. Oh my
Like
goodness.
aerobics kind of stuff. And I was like, that would be awful. Number 3 are home devaluers. So people, like if you share a fence, that will let the fence just like fall apart or let their garden overgrow or like totally keep your shared-ish area mucky.
That's bad.
That's the worst. It's like, or when neighbours insist on painting the fence like 2 different colours on each side.
Annoying.
And you're like, just agree on something.
Sad. What's the next one?
Number 4 is the over the fence engager, which I agree that I hate.
Why is that bad? I would say like our best neighbours, the first house I lived in, we were so close to that. Like mum and her, they would like put out the washing, or Nicholas and I'd be playing out in the yard, and like they would just chat over the fence with each other.
Oh, same. Like
was, like,
we have
super
neighbours.
cute.
We've had neighbours that we're really close to, but the over the fence engager is the neighbour that you don't want to talk to, that just comes up
the
and
Ned
engages
Flanders.
you. Consistently in conversation, and
Ned
you're like,
Flanders, who just like is always there.
especially the neighbours that come up and like start being rude about other neighbours to you, and you're like, I don't care about your tiffs.
Oh no.
I don't want to listen. And the last one is the uni house/share house. So a house that's like obviously not a family, and people are very come and go and fly by night and different
lots of
schedules,
parties.
lots of parties, lots
Yeah.
of cars, lots of noise. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be so frustrating. Yeah, I feel like because we have.
I've never lived next to a share house, but I can imagine it
I
would
can
be
only imagine the
frustrating.
hell it would be. But like where I live, there are 2 babies that are like under 2 years old. And we hear the people above us more, and the other people live across from us and below us, and they have like babies, and we never hear them cry. We hear the most out of like the 20-somethings who live upstairs. It's ridiculous.
I have a toddler next door to me.
She
Those
cries.
concrete walls do not keep out the screams of a hungry toddler, I tell you that.
I'll look forward to that in like a year when the baby downstairs grows up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Terrible
goodness.
twos are upon me.
If
with
you
this
have
person.
if you have horrible neighbors or neighbor war stories, please let us know. Please let me feel like I'm not such a bad person.
We wanna
for
hear
complaining
about them.
my neighbors.
A good way to finish this, for every like terrible neighbor I've had, there have been a few. There have been like 5 lovely ones.
That's
so
true.
it's never always that bad.
They just feel like they outweigh the good, even if they don't. That was Flashlight, which you may remember from Pitch Perfect 2.
I've never seen Pitch Perfect.
Really? 1 or
No.
2?
Either.
Oh my God, it's great.
1 and 2.
1 was like a cult classic, and 2 was still pretty good, but it felt like...
But a bit of a
But it's like...
bad sequels are the worst.
Like, no, it wasn't bad. It was just like any sequel that's following from like a really popular instant classic, that's so hard.
Actually, it's almost worse when the sequel is like way better than the original movie. That's almost more awkward. I mean, it's got way better.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, yeah, you somehow did better the second time. How'd you even manage that? Oh, yeah.
You never know. Now, I was thinking of something totally random today. I woke up and I was feeling really, really refreshed. And it's because I got a new app on my phone, which is really amazing.
Okay.
That tracks your sleep cycles.
And that made you feel refreshed knowing the app was there?
Yes, because when you go to sleep, it tells you what time to wake up to the exact minute.
But how do you know when to wake up if it tells you when you go to sleep?
So what you do is you click like, I'm going to sleep now, and it will be like, you should wake up at 8:17, and then you set your alarm for 8:17.
Oh.
Like it will give you an option of times, like to the exact minute. And if you wake up at that time, you feel amazing because it catches you at the very end of a sleep cycle. And it's actually the coolest thing I've ever done. So even in the last week when I've had nights where I've only slept 6 hours or so, I've still woken up feeling really good.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
It's great because it catches you in the middle of your 34-minute sleep cycle, whatever it is. It's very specific.
But like, what if it takes you a really long time to get to sleep?
It factors that in.
How?
Because you put in like all your details and it magically tells you.
But
it works for me.
Does it ask you like how long does it normally take you to get to sleep?
Yeah.
Because what if you don't know? I don't know. It feels like a long time, but it could only be like 10 minutes and it feels like half an hour.
Well, you put in a recommendation and then you put in other details about yourself and like your work and your height and your age and stuff, and then it just kind of calculates it. But it works for me.
Oh my
I don't know if it works for everybody.
That is like witchcraft.
I know, it's really cool, and it was making me
I don't
think,
know if I trust it.
it was making me think about sleep because a new sleep study came out in the UK that said apparently only 4 in 10 people actually get enough sleep, and 1 in 5 of those people sleep really badly.
That doesn't surprise me, sadly. I feel like I can't remember the last time I wasn't tired. I feel like being an adult is just like being slightly perpetually tired.
Yeah, no, it's so true. And sleep disorders are among the most under-recognized health problems there are.
Oh, yeah.
It seems it's the most common health complaint after like joint pain.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy.
Wow. Are we talking like insomnia and that kind of stuff?
No, just like generally not feeling like you've had a good sleep or had enough sleep.
Oh, so not even like the severe case of insomnia, just like minor kind of things.
Yeah, just minor stuff, not things like insomnia. And the consequences of not getting enough sleep are like really far-reaching. Obviously, they're not just feeling tired during the day. You know, there's
but
like
you have like reduced health and cognitive function.
Yeah, you have reduced cognitive functions, poor health, increased chance of obesity, increased risk of chronic diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer.
Oh my God, that's stressing me out.
So pretty much everything.
Now I'm too stressed to sleep.
If you don't get enough sleep. And that's another one. Yeah, stressing when you sleep is not a good thing. Otherwise you can't fall to sleep. But
and then you'll be more stressed because all the bad things are about to happen to you.
Pretty much. But because of that, the Sleep Health Foundation of Australia have 10 tips for sleeping.
Oh, good. Okay.
There is
a positive note to this segment. Good.
Yes, there is a positive
Besides
note.
your witchcraft app.
I'm going to add in the 11 tips because I'm telling you now, get an app that tracks your sleep cycles. You will never look back.
Ever?
Ever.
Ooh.
Because I'm always asleep knowing I'll wake up feeling awesome.
But is it like a placebo effect where because you think that by the app telling you to wake up at 8:17, you wake up thinking I'm meant to feel really good because it's what it told me, and therefore you feel good because you think you're meant to?
It's just not necessarily, because I've had 1 or 2 days where I've woken up being like, so.
Okay.
Where I'm like, obviously I didn't fall asleep within like the required amount of time or something. But then majority of the days, majority of the days, it's really, really great.
Okay. So what are these tips? I'm excited.
Okay. So number 1, we were actually talking about this last week, which is funny, is having a regular sleep pattern.
I think that's really important.
Because you were saying when you sleep in late on weekends, it's not good?
Yeah, like this, I know over the weekend, I knew I could sleep in on like Saturday, but I was like, no, I set my alarm so that I would get up, I think it was like an hour or 2 after I normally do during the week. So it felt like a sleep in, but like I was still up fairly early-ish.
Yeah. And if you stay in bed till like 11, that's really bad.
I felt so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just, oversleeping is another bad thing. It makes you groggy when you oversleep.
Oh, yeah. It's like when you have a nap and you just nap for way too long. You wake up and you're like, oh, what year is it?
I can never nap. Napping is the worst thing for me. I wake up feeling so disoriented. It's like not even funny. Naps are just not my thing. Unless I'm sick, and then naps work really well for me. Number 2, spend the right amount of time in bed. So that's an important one. Don't be someone that like naps on the couch for a while and then goes to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Just like when you're going to bed, go to bed.
Oh, I thought you meant like when you wake up in the morning, don't wake up and like lie there.
That too. That's part of it as well. Make sure they would say like 1 snooze only.
Oh, that's pretty hard though. Well, does it count if you're not actually awake when you hit snooze?
It depends how long the snooze is. I do a 9-minute snooze cycle. That's what my app recommends.
Mine's 9 minutes, but I don't have choice. I somehow accidentally changed my alarm clock to be 9 minutes, and I don't know how to change it back to 5. So I'm like, so I'm really good at my 9 times tables now because every time I hit it, I calculate ahead and work out what time I really have to get up.
I like 9-minute sleep cycle, snooze cycle. It's a really good one. Number 3, bed is for sleeping, not entertainment. That's true. So studies show that if you watch TV in bed, or you are on your phone in bed, or you do things in bed that don't involve sleeping, you have a harder time switching off.
But you should be off electronics. I know I don't, but I know you should be off electronics at least 30 minutes before you go to sleep.
Yeah, they say half an hour, don't they?
Yeah, and I never do that, but I know that I should. So
the brightness for your eyes makes it hard.
Yeah, I have an app on my computer that I never use, which apparently you activate it, you say what time you want to go to bed, and you turn it on, and it will gradually change. It shifts it from blue to yellow light, I think, so it's easier for you to go to sleep.
Oh, that's fascinating.
But I never use it because I don't know how to use it.
That's really cool though.
Yeah. So like this. So if you're studying and you know you have to be up really late studying and you know you need to go straight to bed, invest in like finding out these kind of apps so that it makes it easier for you to go straight to bed from using the computer. Just that little bit more could really help.
Yeah, because there are times when you will need to, but you can make it easier on yourself.
Yeah.
Number 4, wind down and relax before going to bed. So that kind of adds into it. Number 5, make sure your bedroom is comfortable. There's nothing worse than trying to get to sleep somewhere that isn't comfy, i.e. a plane or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't think people's regular like sleeping patterns include sleeping on a plane.
That's true. It depends how much you travel.
And if they do, they often have like those business class fancy things that like lie down for them.
True. Alcohol and caffeine should be avoided right before you go to sleep.
Agreed.
Very true. Everybody knows that one. Avoid daytime naps. So that's pretty much what we were just saying.
That's what you
Naps
said.
are bad.
Yeah.
Don't lie awake watching the clock. I think that's that stress thing, isn't it? Because you stress that you're not going to go to sleep.
And then you're like, oh, another minute's passed and I'm still awake. Ah.
Yeah, and then you get really worried. Or like I do that one sometimes, you know, you go to bed and you get really stressed that you won't wake up. Like your alarm won't wake you up and then you can't go to sleep.
I had a friend who had this really cool clock. It was like a projector clock, so it projected onto the ceiling the time.
Whoa.
Really cool until I couldn't sleep. I just lie there, like when I'd sleep over, I just lie there and watch it, be like, oh my God, the time is passing me by. Well, if it's on like my bedside table, I can just like roll over and not face it.
That's true. Number 9, avoid taking any sort of sleep substitute. So whether it's like a pill or a drink or anything that's supposed to like aid you in getting sleepy, just like naturally get sleepy.
Is it weird to say that sleeping pills scare me? I'm
Oh,
scared.
it depends what they are. You can get like natural ones, like from the chemist.
But I feel like if I take one, I'm really worried that I'm just going to sleep through any alarm.
Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm never going to wake up. I don't know. For some reason, I have this like weird pathological fear of like taking a sleeping pill.
That's so funny.
Oh, it's just like those ones that are like made of herbs.
Yeah.
Those ones I'm okay with.
I've had those ones. They're really good.
Yeah.
And number 10, I feel like this isn't a tip helping you sleep better, but it's there anyway. You may need professional help learning how to sleep well.
That's not a tip. That's
You may need to. Don't be afraid to ask for help, even if it's about sleep.
That's like a post note about like, and if none of these work, you may need professional help.
I.e. us, the Sleep Institute of Australia. Sly plug, but I like it. That's a good tip. I really hate not getting a good sleep.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who's like, I love not feeling great in the morning.
But some people can deal with minimal amounts of sleep.
True.
For instance, my mum is like a really solid 6-hour sleeper. 6 hours and she feels great.
And like any more or less and she doesn't?
Yeah. She just will wake up. Like she can't stay in bed any longer.
Oh, how weird. Actually, no, my mum has that. Maybe it's like an age thing.
Yeah.
My mum will be like, you know, she could sleep until a certain time. If she wakes up, she's like, I'm awake. I can't go back to sleep.
I've never understood that. I could always go to sleep.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't just roll over. She's like, nope, I'm awake. I have to get up.
Same. And I'm like, really? What? I could lie there forever.
Yeah. I don't know.
My goodness.
You wait just like 20, 30 years, we'll be like, oh, as soon as I'm awake, I'm up. Like, we'll change our tune eventually. But speaking of tunes, we're going to go into another song. Enjoy this. We'll catch you on the other side.
That was Do It Right by Anne-Marie. You're listening to Radio Northern Beaches, and we are coming towards the end of our show. I feel like a broken record with it every week, which means it is time for
Suburb Focus.
And the most exciting news in our Suburb Focus this week is the council area for the suburb is Northern Beaches Council.
I was about to say there's only one suburb, but I meant only one council.
Only one council as of Thursday.
So now we're just going to say the place, the suburb, and we'll say formerly of the blah, blah, blah council. Just so while everyone's still getting acquainted with the idea of one huge council, we all know where you are. Yeah. So this week we're talking about Ingleside, which is formerly part of Pittwater Council and Ringa Council. It's actually part of both, interestingly.
How awkward.
Yeah, a little bit. Thank goodness it's one council now. At least one suburb's benefited from it. And I will be honest, I was way more impressed and interested with Ingleside's history than I thought I was going to be. And I think you will be as well.
I can't say I've ever stopped in Ingleside except potentially to go to the Baha'i Temple.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's like nothing there that you would stop for.
Well, it's majority like national park. So.
Some houses and like one school.
So there's only 1,122 people who live there according to the 2011 census. So not very many compared to some of our other suburbs. But here is the history. And mainly it's where it got its name from. And I find it really cool. So the suburb takes its name from the mansion in the area that was called Ingleside House. It was built in the 1880s by Baron von Bernheim. He was an industrial chemist of Dutch and American background. and he specialised in gunpowder and explosives. Founded a factory called the Australian Gunpowder and Explosives Manufacturing Company, and that's why Powderworks Road is called Powderworks Road.
Wow,
Isn't
that's
that
amazing.
Awesome. I read that the first time. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like freaking out about how
That's
cool
actually the coolest thing ever.
Because I'd never stopped to think about why Powderworks Road was called that.
Powderworks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? And
Who
so,
knew?
as you mentioned, some of the landmarks, we've got the Baha'i Temple, which was built in around the 1960s, and it's like such a beautiful building.
Oh,
And
it's
like
so
even
pretty.
like the gardens around it are beautiful.
Really nice.
And it's just nice when you're driving towards it, and like from any point you can just like see it coming.
Yeah, you can see it from ages away, which is
great.
always cool.
The Smoky Dawson Ranch is one of the other landmarks there. So it used to be the home of one of Australia's most popular country music singers. And then the HASG Armenian School purchased it. And then in 2002, the school built up that big ranch-style gate.
Yeah,
And now it's a
that's
big tourist
true.
attraction. And that's really cool they did that. And then, of course, one of the other big things out there is Monica's Doggy Rescue.
Oh, yes. I forgot that's in Ingleside.
Which is, if you don't know about Monica's Dog Rescue, why don't you? It is an incredible organisation. She takes in animals that usually, I believe it's like when shelters can't take them, especially.
Yeah.
She's kind of like the last stop for them, and she rehomes them, and they're always really lovely little dogs, and they do incredible work up there. And I know that Michelle, on her show Mornings with Michelle, she each week has like a little spotlight thing on
Monica's dogs.
Yeah, 2 dogs that could be adopted that week.
So if you want to know more about the rescue,
you can go to doggyrescue.com.
no, there we go. Or
Yeah,
you can
nice and simple.
contact Michelle Holmes, who
Yes.
works here at the station.
Yeah, or even if you just Google it, Monica's Dog Rescue, it'll come up. And speaking of something else that's also coming up in our area that you can access through a website.
Everything you can access through websites.
Pretty much.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was a very bad link. But come out very soon, very, very, very soon, on the 21st of May, is the Radio Skills Workshop. It'll be on a Saturday. And if you're interested in it, which you should be, because radio is probably the most fun thing I do like all week.
Yeah.
And if you want to do something similar, you can come along, learn about it, and then have your own show within a couple of weeks.
Pretty much everything you would need to know for hosting a radio show, you can learn in one day.
Yeah.
And you can learn it at the radio skills workshops that we host right here at our very own station. So you can come, you can meet some of the people who present shows, you can meet us, and you can tour around the station. And if you are interested in participating, you can register on the Radio Northern Beaches website, which is rnb.org, or through the Northern Beaches Community College website.
Yeah, and the fun bit is at the very end of the day, you get to go live on air and have your first time live on air.
I remember when we did that, it was so terrifying.
Oh, don't worry. It is the most terrifying thing like you'll do like all year.
But it's a lot of fun.
It's such a great icebreaker because everyone in the course does it, so you're all in it together. And then when you go on to do it the next time when you actually have a show, it's so much less scary.
Yeah, and you get plenty of time to prepare. So that's at like the end of the day. So you'll be all over it by then.
And then you do your training with a show of your choice. And who knows, it could be with us.
Yeah, and there's nothing about the day that means you have to take up a radio show. If you just want to know more about radio or you're interested in the station generally, you can always come along.
Yeah,
it's not just for potential hosts.
Yeah, you'll learn so much about how, like, the technological part of how radio works and paneling, music. You learn about everything. It's awesome. It's just at base value, it's so interesting.
Yeah. So if you are around on Saturday and you want to come, make sure that you register and you will probably see us there if you come.
Most likely. Lucky you guys. But that is the end of our show. We hope you guys had a great time. We'll see you again on Friday for the repeat. Otherwise, catch you next Wednesday for another
catch you on Saturday at the Skills
true.
Workshop. If you are, well, you will be there.
I'm talking to our listeners who are far and wide and global. If you're local, we'll see you on Saturday. for
That's
the
true.
Radio
If you're
Skills
from the
Workshop.
beaches, we will see you on
Yeah.
Saturday.
But to everyone else, we'll catch you next week. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And yeah, enjoy this last song.
Bye.